Fellow Africans, my names are Professor Henry Bwisa, Professor of Entrepreneurship at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. May I ask you a question? Do you know the real size of Africa? Take a look. Count those countries that fit into Africa. Count them from 1 up to 16. There they are. 1, the USA and its size. Spain, Ireland, Germany, France, all the way to UK. The total area of all those countries is 28 million square kilometers. The total area of Africa is 30 million plus square kilometers. What are we therefore saying? That Africa is larger in landmass than all those countries that we can see. And yet, Africa is poorer than any single of the listed countries. Look at it again. All those countries, USA, China, India, Europe, Great Britain, Japan, Germany, they all fit into the continent of Africa. Africa is larger than all those countries taken singly. But even when at 30 million square kilometers, Africa is bigger than the listed countries, it still imports from them food. Look. The red shape. Food production and imports. The red is imports. The imported food is increasing with the time. The graph, look at it. Domestic production is decreasing over time. Look at the blue. This is what is happening in Africa. Let's take one single product, wheat. Look. Sub-Saharan Africa is importing wheat. Look. Those are million tons. Nigeria imports that much wheat. South Africa, Sudan, Angola, Tanzania, Mozambique, the DRC, Ghana, Senegal, Kenya, Ethiopia, Cote d'Ivoire, and others. Africa is importing food when Africa has a landmass that can produce food that is importing from the countries that are smaller than itself. Look at that. 75% of the world's poorest countries are located in Africa. The 10 countries with the highest percentage of people living in extreme poverty are in Africa. Approximately 1 in 3 people living in sub-Saharan Africa are undernourished. Look at that graph. People living on $1 a day from 1990 to 2015. Look at Sub-Saharan Africa. Look at the East Asia and the Pacific. The East Asia had more people living on $1 a day in 1990. But look at how they have improved and increased and dropped. Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, is still at that high level. Look, Sub-Saharan Africa. Look, the East Asia, the blue, compare the blue. They were at one time poorer than Africa. They have improved over time. Africa, even if it's improving, but slower than any one of those countries. This is naked statistics. The regional poverty, 1970 to 2006. Look, East Asia, which in 1970 was higher in terms of, again, $1 a day, it has improved. And whereas all the countries are clustering lower, Africa is still riding high in terms of poverty. But look at Africa. We produce agricultural products. Look, Madagascar, Africa, bananas, avocado, mangoes, name them. Look at the resources that Africa has: gold, oil, diamond, coffee, black gold, call it, oil, crude oil. But many of these are exported in their raw or crude form minus value addition. Hence, they are exported cheaply to be imported back in their finished forms at expensive prices, causing perennial imbalance of payments. Africa then becomes a dollar-sink economy. Look at that. Very rich agricultural products, very rich natural products, but exported in their raw form to be imported back in their finished form at higher prices than what we got from the raw commodity export. We export bananas only to import banana wine at more expensive. We export mangoes only to bring back mango juice. We export coffee only to bring it back manufactured, processed, and we pay at those high prices, oblivious of the fact that our coffee can produce liquor and then cut import from abroad, wines from Italy, oblivious of the fact that coffee can make hair food, and we cut short on importing shampoos and hair food for our ladies. This is the folly of Africa. My take is that Africa's biggest cost is cost of lost opportunity due to limited entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial capacity. And our leaders need to hear this. We must invest in entrepreneurship. We must invest in entrepreneurship. We must invest in those. Look, we can shape Africa in terms of entrepreneurship ideas. We must invest in knowledge, entrepreneurship knowledge that leads to innovation and creativity. knowledge that leads to technology production. We need cooperation. We need to shape Africa in matters entrepreneurship. This is the end of my short talk. I thank you for listening and watching. I thank you. I applaud you. Let me do my little urban agriculture. You can reach me, Professor Henry Bwisa, bwihem@gmail.com. You can reach me on my website, www.mukmik.co.ke. You can call me. This YouTube that you are listening to is Henry Bwisa. Let's meet, let's discuss, let's build Africa. Thank you.